I'm Erin, the Two Martini Stitcher, both here on YouTube and Instagram, and this is my channel about cross stitch. If you're new, welcome. Hope you like cross stitch. Hope you're here to talk about some cross stitch and see some. If you're returning, I'm so glad to see you guys again. I missed a week. Did you guys notice? You might not have, because I filmed a couple extra like stash dive things to start working out what I'm going to do for Mania. So I filmed those last weekend. Two of them. I did one where I went through all of my I call them kitted projects. Some of them were fully kitted. Some had fabric or floss, but maybe not both. But I went through I did one video that was all my kitted projects, looking for possible Mania starts. And then I did one that was a dive into just my patterns that didn't have anything with them for possible Mania starts. So I filmed those last weekend thinking that I could put those up as extras. And I put one up, I think, on Sunday. And then I ended up putting one up on like Wednesday because I was expecting to just film my regular Monday Flosstube. That didn't happen because everybody's home all the time, and this room is now in use 24/7 by not me, which is fine. Like, it's no problem. I just clearly am gonna have to wait till the weekend to film Flosstube now, so that's okay. We'll film Sundays instead of Mondays. No regular Flosstube last week. You got a couple extras, and I got 2 weeks worth of stuff to share, so bonus. Yeah, my daughter's dance studio 2 weeks ago, because this is an ever-evolving situation, right? To address the elephant in the room, hope you all are doing well. Hope everybody is healthy, staying home as much as possible. Yeah, but my daughter's dance studio 2 weeks ago, they were doing like video classes. Like, you got a YouTube link, the entire class was pre-filmed, and they sent those out so you could take the class whenever on the YouTube link, which was great. I was thrilled that they managed to jump in with that right away, but I think all the teachers really miss being able to see the students, give them live feedback, and the kids miss seeing each other. So last week, they went to like a class schedule. They are combining some of the classes. So like when there was a junior and a senior of the same level, now those are combined because they don't have to fit all the kids in the same room over Zoom. So they're doing Zoom dance classes, which the girls have loved. They love seeing their teachers. Like, my youngest, even one class, she's like, I got called out in the combo. So the teachers really are able to still give that feedback. They love being able to see their friends and have that dynamic as close as they could. So that's awesome. But those classes are in the evening. And so they're doing that in this room because this room was originally built for that. Not built, but we turned this room into like a dance studio room for the girls quite a few years ago. When they were younger and they would want to practice in here. Now they pretty much live at the studio during normal times. They're at the studio practically more than they're in our house awake. So they weren't using this room, so I turned it into a workout room and craft room. Now it's home office and dance studio again. We're so fortunate to have the space. So that's all been fantastic. If you have kids that dance and want to take classes, those Zoom classes at our studio, you can totally do that. Hit me up via Messenger and I will send you all the information so that you can get enrolled in the classes. And I think they're letting you do like a week of them for free to test it out. I love our studio. It's pretty exceptional. It's a pretty exceptional place. There's a reason we drive a very long distance to take classes there for my kids to train there. So if you have a dancer in your life that's like missing classes, let me know, because it might be fun for them. So anyway, that was a bit of a tangent on why I was not here filming last week. So welcome to Cross Stitch Happy Hour. Look at my fancy drink this week. This is the benefit of quarantining at home. This week, Drew made me one of our cocktail subscription. We've tried quite a few of them. We're currently doing Shaker and Spoon, which has by far been our favorite. So this one is called Crank It to 11. It's bourbon and cherry, and like Drew smoked the glass with like wood chips beforehand. And so I'm feeling very fancy. It's definitely a sipping beverage. So I also brought some water. So, but delicious. It's got some cherry bark vanilla bitters as well. Yummy, yummy. Okay. So how's everybody been? I went through all the comments on the last video I did and had some questions and things that I thought were good questions and everybody might want to know the answer to. So we'll do a little bit of Q&A, and then I'll show works in progress, which you would think I would have worked on more stuff in 2 weeks, but maybe it'll seem like a lot. It didn't as I was packing it all up. I do have some finishes. Maybe that's why it didn't seem like as many, because I was pushing for a finish on some things. And then I have haul, which is going to be the beginning of probably a lot of haul over the next couple weeks. When it was my birthday last week, thank you guys so much to everyone that messaged me, wished me a happy birthday, stitched along on the birthday sal. It is definitely one that I will never forget. Typically in our family, the birthday person gets to choose where we go for dinner. Didn't go out for dinner. Originally, and I don't think I'd ever mentioned this. Originally, I was supposed to be coming back from Disneyland today. It was my 45th birthday. I turned 45. I went to Disneyland for my 40th birthday. And so we had a trip planned to Disneyland for my birthday / spring break. Definitely didn't do that. I was planning on a Monte Cristo at Cafe Orleans. However, we did do curbside pickup at Maggiano's and opened a nice bottle of wine, and I had all my girls at home, which normally on my birthday, I mean, if we'd been at Disneyland, we would have all been together, but normally nowadays on my birthday, like, the girls wouldn't necessarily be home for dinner on a Tuesday night. Sarah sure in college sure wouldn't have been, so I take the blessings where I can get them. But yeah, so last week was the birthday. So there were birthday gifts, and I spent some birthday money, which seemed to have unleashed the beast a little bit. What are we gonna do? Looks like my camera got out on me, and I don't know why. Luckily, I have learned how to edit. Sort of a little bit. Did you guys notice that on my stash dives? The first one I did, I uploaded and I couldn't figure out how to rotate it. So it was kind of sideways on you guys all. Oh, hope that's okay. But then by the second one, I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to rotate this. And my camera cut out on me on that one too. I better figure out what's going on there. And so I did figure out how to put video segments together and add a beginning card. I mean, I knew I could do it. I just never bothered to take the time to do it. Now I got all the time in the world to apparently shop online. I am finding though that in addition to not being able to get into my craft room, which once again, fine, and is a small price to pay to keep everybody home and healthy, I'm not having as much stitching time either, because everyone's around. Like normally, although I think probably there's no such thing as normal anymore, but normally, like, the children all go to school, my husband goes to work, and I have some like quiet alone time in my house. And I know all of you guys who have little kids, man, I'm feeling you right now. I'm feeling for you right now, trying to keep them all entertained in your house all the time, because mine are teenagers. So left to their own devices, they sleep till the middle of the morning anyway. Except I make them get up and have a normal routine. But so I've been there and done that with the little kids. But now I usually get some quiet time to myself every day, and I can sit down and stitch for a while if I want to. Not anymore. So I know a lot of you are feeling like I have so much extra stitchy time. For some reason, I'm feeling like I have less stitchy time because the rest of my family needs to be entertained. No, they don't need to be entertained. Although, they do need to be fed all the time. Everybody else running out and hoarding toilet paper. I clearly should have run out and stocked up on dish detergent because I'm running the dishwasher like 3 times a day now. 5 people, home for all 3 meals. A lot of dishes. Anyhow, my point is, I seem to have less stitchy time because I'm doing things with the family more, which is wonderful and lovely, and I will take it while that time is here. But it does mean a little bit less stitchy time, it seems. Not sure, it's kind of a mixed bag. Okay. Oh, I was going to do Q&A. That's where I was. Q&A. I had a question about my needle minder board and where I got this. It's I hesitate to take it off the wall because it's a pain to get up there. And these little things, these little letters, they stick in there, but not that great. It's a magnet board that you just put these little letters, onto. And I got that at Target in the dollar spot, which isn't dollar spot anymore. It's Spots Playground or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The dollar spot at Target, I got that late last spring, early summer. So, but I would think that these are still in, right? Those are still a thing along with the light up marquee ones. I would think you could find something very, very similar, probably on Amazon, honestly, or at one of the big box craft stores when they open again. Or they should not be open. But I would think this exact one I got at Target. But I would think you could find something pretty similar. So that's where I got the needle minder board. I also had a couple questions about my planner because you guys know I love the planner. So I've been asked about the punch. Oh, I should have grabbed it. It looks like a 3-hole punch, but it's not a 3-hole punch. Someone had asked about the punch, and then someone asked if the base of it is a happy planner. So yes and no. The rings are happy planner rings. This is a happy planner that I decided I needed a pencil pouch. And then the covers are you can buy just covers. So I bought covers and the rings and dividers. So I didn't buy an actual planner at all. I just bought happy planner dividers and covers and the rings and then the punch. The pages in it I printed myself, and the basis of which is 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Planner by Jen Lee Quirks and Stitches. And it's all linked in the description box below. And it has been pretty much since I started showing this planner because I know I show it every week. So there'll be a link to the printable for the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. And it's got so much great stuff in it. There's an ABC challenge, that's WIP Go stuff. WIP lists, finish lists, and then there's all kinds of monthly calendars, weekly spreads, just so much stuff. So I just printed that all off at home and then punched it with the Happy Planner punch, which I did get at Michael's. It was on sale, and I think I had another coupon, maybe over New Year's, around New Year's, around the first of the year. You can also get it on Amazon. It's not cheap. I want to say it maybe retailed like $20. But you know, you can probably use a coupon, or you can get it on Amazon. And so that way you can punch any piece of paper. So I just printed that out, but then the punch does punch the rings. I hope that made sense. So I know Annie, Joy-Filled Stitcher, one of my favorite people of all time, she does a lot of happy planner stuff. And she just did a video very recently, and I'll link where I put in the description box, Flosstube people I mentioned. I usually link their channel, but I will link directly to her planner video, because she did a flip through of all of her planners very recently, because she did use like some happy planner, like actual planners as the basis for some of her stitchy planners as well. So I will link her below, because she does lots of other planning. She's my planning inspiration. Okay, I think that was all I had Q&A wise. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to drop them below or message me. I'm always happy to answer questions. And if you are wondering, where'd she get that needle minder board? Other people probably were too. So WIPs. So I've got 2 weeks worth of WIPs to show. I'm gonna have no idea. I mean, yes, I have it in my planner, but a lot of these got worked on for different kinds of things. So I'm not gonna worry about telling you guys why I worked on it. And I'm not even gonna go in order probably. I'm just gonna pull stuff out. I brought over a whole like basket. Slowly, a lot of my stuff is migrating downstairs out of here. So kind of all over the place. I've taken over the dining room table, kitting stuff up for Mania. That's been a process, guys. I had thrown some pictures on my Instagram story. I will maybe throw them in here somewhere if I can find them and figure out how to put them in, but that's been a process, and it's taken over my entire dining room table. So I got a tote, one of my totes, to bring up all my WIPs. So 2 weeks worth of work means, WIPs to show means I have both of my full coverage pieces to show. Hold on. They're of course on the bottom. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I was working on Farewell to Anger. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Design. It is just the regular chart. Not supersized, not max color, not mini, just the regular old Farewell to Anger. And here's my progress. So I did get another whole diagonal done. We'll see if I can pull that off again. It's a lot of stitching, but oh my gosh, look at all those reds. And now there's a bunch of like purples coming in. I love this so much, guys. So I am doing this on 25 count, easy count Lugana, 1/1 full cross with all the called for DMCs. My needle minders are from Abby Topknot. Grime Guard and Bag are from Garon Toten Bags. And there it is. There's Farewell to Anger. Normally this would be coming out to play again this week, but I think that it's not. I'll show you guys why in a second. I think that I'm going to give Harry Potter book covers an extra week for a couple reasons. Very good reasons. Farewell to Anger will be back. I love that piece so much. I love stitching on it. So next up is Harry Potter book covers. Here's what the full pattern is going to look like. It's by Fox and Teacup Design. This one I am doing the supersized max color version of the US book covers. But I think I've said before, the supersized max color version is like a normal Haid. So it's like the size, I think this has like 90 colors. So it's kind of like a normal Haid. It's not like 256 like a max color Haid is. So there it is. That's what that will look like. And here's my progress. Guys, look how good that second book is coming along. So I am down, I think you guys can probably see, oh, all my part threads are kind of a mess. today. Oh, I should have done a better job. But look, down here, can you see I'm getting back into some browns? So that means I'm all the way down here. So we're gonna get the bird's beak and eye, and then I'm gonna be back into Brown Town for a while. But that's okay. So I am gonna give this another week for a couple reasons. One, I was doing total, so on Farewell to Anger, I completed that diagonal. I should have said this. That diagonal gave me a page finish, my very first page finish on it. So since I'm doing diagonals, I'm not really stitching a full page, but I hit 8,000 stitches, which is the equivalent of a full page. So it gave me a page finish, and it gave me, which one of the, I'm using these all for, using these two full coverage pieces for Full Coverage Fanatics, the National Parks Challenge. So each one kind of gets assigned a national park, and there's different tiers. If you like full coverage and you stitch full coverage, check out Full Coverage Fanatics. They're linked below. So that put me at Badlands. So I finished the Badlands on Farewell to Anger. But so then I was like, oh, well, I must be close on Harry Potter book covers too, since I switch off weeks, and I know this one just kind of lags a week behind. And when I did up the stitch totals, I was not. Like, I'm a little bit, this one is lagging behind Farewell to Anger on stitch count for the year. And I think it's for a couple reasons. One, at the very beginning of the year, I gave Farewell to Anger the first 10 days of January because it was a new start. Harry Potter also fell on like 2 dance weekends back when that was a thing. And also, just the way I'm stitching them, I end up naturally stitching more in Farewell to Anger. Because I'm going cross-country through the diagonal, I kind of just stitch on it in the evenings until I'm tired of it, which is usually putting me around 300 stitches, where with this, because I'm going block by block, I tend to do like 2 blocks. So I tend to do like 200, or these blocks are like 130, just the way they fall. This is like 130 and that's 140. So it might be 240 or 230, but I don't tend to then start another block. So this one's lagging behind in stitch count, and I want to catch it up. The other reason I want to give this another week is because this project's birthday is on April 3rd. I started this April 3rd of last year. So it feels like I should stitch on it on its birthday. So I'm going to give it another week so I can stitch on it on its birthday, hopefully catch it up to Farewell to Anger stitch count wise, and then I'll just go back to my regular weekly rotation. So that's the plan for Harry Potter book covers. And coming up on this project's birthday makes me realize that it's been like a year since I kind of fell down the cross stitch rabbit hole. Like, I had gotten back into cross stitch, you know, fall of 18, and was doing a little bit here and there. And then at the beginning of the year, I was doing a little bit more, checking out Etsy stuff, but it was March of last year. It was this time last year that I found School of Magical Stitches and Literature and this pattern, and really started stitching all the time. So this is my oldest WIP. I have 2 others that I know I started sometime in April, but I don't know what day. And then starting in May, I started actually tracking everything. So I think the other two WIPs I have, oh, look, and I'll show you guys. I will make sure that are about the same age that I know I started after this, is Everything is Fine and New York City, the New York City one from Awesome Pattern Studio. So I'll make sure that I touch those in April. And then starting in May, I've decided that I want to make sure that any WIP that has a birthday, that I pull it out and work on it on its birthday. I'm hoping that going forward, I'm not going to have like WIPs that hang around till they're like 3-4 years old when they get finished. But I figured it'd be a good way to put my hands on everything, on all my projects every year, and see if I still love them and want to stitch on them. So we're going to start that with Harry Potter book covers, which I still love. And I don't know, like, I'm not going to finish it this year, but I'm moving along on it. I feel like I'm making good progress on book 2. I heard that the first couple books take the longest and then they move a little faster, so we'll see. We'll see if that's true. So those are my full coverage pieces. Harry Potter's going to get another week this week, so you'll see that again next week. What else did I work on? I'm telling you guys, I'm not going in order. I'm just pulling and grabbing. Well, these are new things, but that's okay. We'll do these. This is a new start that was completely not planned, except I'm apparently a really cheap date. I'm a super cheap date. I'm easy. What can I say? All it took was Rolodex Stitches, Carla of Rolodex Stitches. All right, if you're not watching her, seriously, just stop my video. I'm not even worth it. Go watch her. She's fantastic. She clearly watched my pattern stash dive and has this pattern and started it in her March Madness. It was one of her March Madness starts. So she messaged me. She lives in Japan. So she messaged me and said, "You're probably still not awake." I so was, because my sleep schedule is also super jacked up. Partially because I'm staying up really late to stitch after everybody goes to bed. So I was still up, but she said, "Hey, I started that. You should definitely start that in Mania and we can sell it." To which I said, yeah, let me see if I have the stuff. I'll start it tomorrow. Which I did. So I grabbed a piece of 18 count Aida in, I think this is Country Mocha, vintage Country Mocha. It's the kind that's printed. So you can see it's just plain on the back and it's printed. The like modeling is printed on it. And I got like a whole, like, I think it might have even been a full yard of this was gifted to me by Deborah at Stitch the Stash when I got to meet her last year in New York. And oh man, Deborah, all of you guys in New York, I'm thinking of you. Yeah, seriously, hang in there. And I had a trip to New York planned for this summer, and I don't know, maybe foolishly crossing all my fingers and toes and holding out hope that I will get to see you guys again. But when I saw Deborah last year in New York, she gifted me this Aida, and I have put it to use, and I am still putting it to use. So I grabbed this and pulled either what was called for or close. I think just close-ish. I think I had most. It called for almost all DMC, a couple classic Collarworks, but I either had the DMC conversion or I just grabbed something close. Like it calls for a blue, a like eggshell white. So I pulled 712, a couple browns. I happen to have Hickory Sticks, which is what the roof is. So I had Hickory Sticks, so that's awesome. Called for a gold. So I just grabbed some DMC from my stash. Look at me, stitching from stash. Stitching from stash. And I got started. So yay, I love this pattern. I love this pattern. Don't know why I haven't stitched it yet. All you gotta do is hit me up. Late night Sal call. So there we go. So that started. My needle minder is from Space Cat Crafting, and it feels very appropriate right now. So that was a non-planned new start, but I am definitely, I did finish up the last couple weeks. I finished up all my like tasks and challenges for Enchanted Stitching. They announced the movie for next month is going to be Cars, which I love. So I'll see what the challenges are for that, but I'm also feeling like, I think a lot of us are feeling this way. We just want to stitch what we want to stitch right now. Like, I'm not sure I need anything else to have to figure out or think about. So we'll see if I end up keeping going with those challenges or not. There's some really fun stuff going on in Semi-Sane Stitchers this month that I think I'm going to jump in on. There's a Which Whip, like a Choose My Whip kind of thing. There's like a Take on Chutes and Ladders that's going on. There's some fun stuff going on in Semi-Sane that I might jump into because you can just work on kind of whatever. We'll see. I'm leaving things open and casual right now. So this other one that I pulled out is also a new start and a finish. I'll just do it at the same time. I am sure that you guys have seen the BLN Stitch hashtag. Yes, yes. This is a freebie. Okay, let me show the pattern by Fox and Rabbit Designs. I am blown away by this community and all the designers who are not only so talented, but also the most generous group of people I've ever met in my life. We're all stuck in our homes, stitching our heart out, and instead of like using that as to something to capitalize on, they give us their time and gifts for free. That's amazing. I have printed out, so like this is probably not even close. I've printed out so many that caught my eye. I mean, like seriously, look at this talent. Michelle Bendy, who not only gave us a free design, has taken her time. I mean, seriously guys, I love Rihanna. And did you see, she posted another free chart today that's as amazing, maybe even more so. It's like a fox holding a light, be the light. I can't. So amazing. Michelle, if you're thinking, oh, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. Oh, I missed that one somehow. If you go to Michelle Bendy's Instagram, she has taken the time to collect all of the freebie charts for BLN Stitch, hashtag BLN Stitch, into a highlight reel. And actually, there's so many, she filled up a highlight reel and had to start a second one. So if you go to her profile, she has a whole highlight reel. You can see all of them, and then you just click through. So if you're like, ooh, I like that one, click through to the post, and it'll tell you how, the designer will tell you how to get the chart. Because some of them, they're linking on their website. Some of them, they're linking their PDF in their profile. Some of them, you just have to screenshot it off their, Instagram feed and print out the picture. So, but thank you to Michelle for taking the time to organize that all for us. I just printed out a whole bunch that caught my eye. And then Claire at Beautiful Clarity, who's doing daily floss tubes. Are you guys loving the people who are doing daily floss tubes? I'd love to do that for you guys, but apparently can't even hardly get on once a week. She's doing a little quick daily floss tubes. So are a bunch of other people. Caroline, Off the Grid. I could watch her talk about anything all day long. Sambry Stitches. I don't know they're daily, but a lot. She's pushing out a lot of content. Lots of great stuff to watch on Flosstube. But Claire at Beautiful Clarity said that she was going to do like a Friday wellness freebie, like start a freebie on Fridays. And I thought that's a great idea because otherwise I'm going to let these all just languish. So this is the one that caught my eye first. There were, suggested colors. I went with what I had. I happen to have Schneckley. So I'll show you guys what I used for this. I started it on Friday and finished it Saturday morning. It was such a quick stitch. So here's my take on Be Well by Fox and Rabbit Designs, which was a new to me designer, by the way. They're in Australia and do amazing reproduction samplers. If you are into stitching reproduction samplers, check them out because one of their national releases might make me want to stitch reproduction samplers. It had the most like crazy, insane, amazing border and huge parrots. It's amazing. It's so amazing. You have to check it out. Okay, so this is my take on it, and I'll show you guys the threads that I used. Because here's my plan. This is a piece of 32 count platinum linen. It's actually what's left of, this is what I ended up using for my birthday start. And this is what's left. And then I'm going to order another piece from either Janine at Acorns if she has it. If not, I'll grab it at Someone 123 Stitch. But my plan is to stitch all of these chart, not all of them. I'm going to stitch a chart a week while we're in this little pickle we're in. On the same fabric with the same-ish color palette. So this called for like a green, a gold, a blue, a brown, and like a flower color, right? So now if I have other charts that call for blue, I'm going to use DMC 312, okay? And then the gold is Schneckley, which is actually what she called for, and I had in my stash. So the gold is Schneckley. Schneckley. I think that's how you pronounce that. I could be totally making it up. The green is Collards, WIP Info Collards, because I just love that kind of olive-y green. The brown is Hickory Sticks. I apparently like went overboard and bought a lot of Hickory Sticks at one point. I think it was clearly before I started, kept a spreadsheet and paid attention to what I had. And then the corally red is Bluecoat Red by WIP Info. So this is going to be like my jumping off point. So then if like the next chart I pick calls for like a lighter green and a darker green, I'll pick a lighter green and use this. Calls for a blue. If it maybe needs two colors, like a darker and a lighter, I'll pick something that's like darker or lighter than that. So this is going to be my jumping off palette, and everything's going to be in kind of the same palette on the same fabric. And then when this is all over, I'm going to turn these all into pillows, and I'll have a little basket of pillows that all are be well, be calm, stay home, all kind of in the same color palette on the same fabric. And notice that I think I need to buy more easily. I think we're going to be in this for a while, guys. I think we're in it for the long haul. But that's my first one. It was a super quick, easy, satisfying stitch. And so then this week, I think I'll probably just see which one catches my eye next. Love this one from Not Forgotten Farm. That's genius. Of course, I know, I'm licking my finger. I'm in my house, I wash my hands. This Choose Happy Be Well. Love that. Oh, this is Little Stitch Girl. Home is our safe haven. Ugh, love that. Her stuff is so cute. All of her little houses, plaid houses and stuff. Just so many good ones. So many good ones. So I'm sure you guys all know about that, but check out Michelle Bendy's highlights because, I mean, they're all going in her stories and then she's saving them into her highlights, and there's so many that I'm like, how did I miss that one? And it's making me realize which designers I don't follow, because now I'm following a whole bunch more designers, which is also a plus, because it made me realize, I'm like, oh, I didn't see that one. How was I not following Barbara Anna? Don't know. It's crazy town. Okay. See what's next. Oh, Suffrage Act. I don't think I've worked on this a lot, but I've worked on it a little, so I'll show you guys. Suffrage Act by Little House Needleworks. This is for the Stitch Along with Stitching with the Sisterlies. Hi, ladies. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm loving all of their wannabe homesteader videos. Are you guys watching those with like the chickens and making bread? And fantastic. Fantastic. I love those ladies. All right. And here's where I am up to on that. I don't think I've done a lot since I saw you guys last. I finished out like this border. I started on, I think when I went back to that, I had some of this red on my needle. So I started some bricks. Then I finished out this border. I've gotten a tiny start on the white dress, but there we go. I'm feeling an urge to stitch on this some more, so this will probably get some more work lately. And this is on a piece of Mystery Color and Cotton. I got it. It's Color and Cotton. I got it in a mystery grab bag. It's a 32 count. I think maybe tea leaves. That's my guess. With all the called for flosses, which are all classic Collarworks, I think. That red is Cherry Cobbler, which is maybe one of the best colors ever, in my humble opinion. Okay, oh, this was Merry 25 stitching. So for Merry 25 stitching, I pulled this back out and got started on Be Merry. I didn't get very far. So last month, or actually this was one of my March Madness. This was one of my March Madness bracket WIPs. Yes, WIPs. And I finished out Be Jolly. I already had Believe done. I finished off Be Jolly, and now I've started Be Merry. And this is my roaring start. It might go this way. I don't know. But I'm doing this on all the same. You can kind of see the edge of one of them. I'm just doing this on one piece of, this is 16 count, 18 count, 16 count. It says right here, 16 count chalkboard black Aida, which I really like working on for black. Because it's really, I mean, it's dark gray, but it's not black, and the Aida is easy to stitch on. And I'm doing that with called for colors. So pull that out for Merry 25 stitching. But I only stitched on it that one day for a little bit, obviously. Let's do this one. Now I'm picking and choosing. I think I've talked to you guys since then. On Dark 13 stitching, I started, gotta find the chart. Where's the chart? Oh, I think I put it away. I did, because I'm done with it. I started Trick or Treat on my tingles. So I'm stitching them all together. I'm stitching the tingles all together like that on one big piece. And I'm doing one block a month, which then should have me done in October. So this month it was Trick or Treat, and there were some extra little doodly dads, like border sections to go with it. So I did those as well. Because if you do them all together, Lizzie Kate has a freebie border pattern that shows you how to put them all together and has some little extra elements. So I pulled that out to finish it, and there it is. Finished Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat, smell my feet. And here's the whole piece so far. And this is on 18 count Aida in the colorway Prank by Picture This Plus. And it's not as bright as it's always showing here. It's not this dark. It's a lighter orange, but it is definitely orange. And I'm doing this in mostly the listed DMC conversion. I am using sweet potato and guacamole, I think. So there we go. So that's all done. Yay! I love doing these once a month because I feel like a little bit of accomplishment. Like it's a goal to do one of these, which is really only a few days of stitching. And then I feel so accomplished that I got it done. I highly suggest to anyone that's doing these. I know Madam Ice, Kate, her name's Kate. She lives in Charleston, South Carolina, which is where I got married. Don't know that you need that information. Her Flosstube name is Madam Ice. She's lovely. She did Christmas rules last year as a stitch along with a group, I don't know who, and they did one rule a month because there's 12 of them, and then they started Halloween rules, and she's doing one a month, and that's when I thought that seems like a very digestible way to do these, and it doesn't feel overwhelming at all, and it's really fun. It's really fun. I just started on the 13th for Dark 13 stitching, and it's so cute. And then when it's done, I'm going to give it to Jolene to make into like a little hanging banner. My daughter saw me stitching on that, and she's like, what is that? And I showed her, and I was like, see, it's a little Halloween thing. And she's like, why? I said, for fun. And I'm going to make it into a little wall hanging and hang it up. And she's like, why? They clearly are not nearly as enamored with my stitching as I am. And I get it, they're teenagers and this is kind of a cutesy thing, but I don't know, I liked it. we've never really been like a decorate for Halloween person, and that's probably where the why was coming from. I tend to just decorate for fall because I'm too lazy, man. I'm too lazy to decorate for both fall and Halloween. I add a couple Halloween things to the fall decorations and then put them away. And this will be one of those things, but I'm just not a good decorator. I just don't decorate in general. So I'm sure that's why her question of what is the purpose of this? Purpose is it makes mama happy. Go away, kid. All right. Next thing I worked on, and I know I showed you this because I'd worked on it some in my last video, but then it got some more work because I was using this for Semi-Sane's alphabet soup for the letter F, and that is my Friends collage. Friends, oh, I'm gonna actually even take this out of the Q-Snap because I've moved it around a bit. And this is one of the few things I stitch in hand, like 90% of the time I stitch in hand. I keep my full coverage pieces on a Q-Snap, mainly to manage the extra fabric, even though I know that I totally could stitch that in hand. Also, that pre-printed Aida was not nice to like hold on to. And that's one of the reasons why this isn't a Q-Snap, because it was kind of crusty 18 count white Aida. But 90% of the time I'm stitching in hand. So there we go. So this is where I got to. I don't know, had I backstitched this whole thing? I don't think so. I think I had stitched it but hadn't backstitched it. So the sign is all done and backstitched. And then I put in Ross, Joey. I did the little jam jar. Look at that jam. How you doing? Pivot. And this is the start of the back of the couch. Oh, and Smelly Cat I put in. So I know I told you guys about April, who I was doing a stitch along with, except I'm the worst person to stitch along with unless you plan on taking forever. Actually, maybe I'm the best person to stitch along with because you will definitely get it done before I will. April, she's April Heirlooms. If there might be an underscore on there on Instagram. She did this. We were stitching this along. She totally finished it. Has it framed. Looks fabulous and adorable. She made quite a few changes to it, and some of them, well, all of them were genius, and I'm stealing some of them. So she changed this "Oh my God" to Smelly Cat because Smelly Cat is not on here, and Smelly Cat is like quintessential Friends and should absolutely be represented. I agree 100%. I think she also changed the ball. She took out the ball and put something else in. I can't remember what. So I did the same thing. I took out "Oh my God" and put in Smelly Cat because you can't see, but this is going to say Phoebe right here. And Smelly Cat should be by Phoebe. I do like the "Oh my God" on there because that's something that we do as a family in the Janet voice. Oh my God. Like we say it in the Janice voice. And so I think I'm actually going to put it, I think my plan is I'm taking out the sandwich because it already says Joey doesn't share food and the penguin. Joey's got enough stuff going on here. So I'm going to take the sandwich out, and I think I'm going to move the dice and such over and put "Oh my God" in here. That's my plan. So, but go check out April's Instagram because she did some other changes that I'm blanking on at the moment that came out really, hers looks fantastic. So Lord knows you're not gonna see mine done anytime soon. But I had a couple people that said, "Ooh, I need to get that Friends pattern." Yes, go get it and stitch it along with me because I need more stitch along partners. The hashtag is the one with the Sal. So, and I'll put that below along with the chart information so you can go get it and stitch Friends with me. It's super fun because each little motif feels like a finish, and like sometimes backstitching is a total pain, but because it just brings out so much detail, and because you're just doing it, I'm doing it as I go, like one little motif as I go, it doesn't feel overwhelming to do the backstitch. And I just think, like, look at that sign, it came out so cute. Central Park. So that is Friends. Oh. And as I said, I'm doing that on 18 count white Aida with just all the called for DMC, which it's so colorful. Like it looks so colorful when you're looking at it, but then you look at the floss box and you're like, it's like 10 shades of brown. But yet it looks fantastic. So that's Friends. And this is in my very first, I didn't even know that it was a project bag. I just went to a 31 gifts party and thought, oh, I need a little pouch to keep my cross stitch project in. And so I had it say Stitch and Sip. So I got this in like fall of 2018. And then even in the beginning of last year when I had like 3 projects going, all 3 of them fit in here with their little floss rings. I was so cute and adorable. Now it holds 1 project and is one of many, many. Okay, what else did I work on? I worked on, not that one, not that one. There's 3 projects in here because they're a series. I worked on Irony, laundry company, and this was actually one of my WIP Go calls because I'm doing WIP Go, which is the brainchild of Jessie Marie, of Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and there's a Facebook group. I will link it below. Essentially, you do a bingo board of your WIPs, or whichever WIPs you choose, and then Jessie Marie calls 2 numbers every month, and those are like the WIP Go pieces that you work on, and you set the goal. It's very like you set whatever the goal is. I tended to pick things I wanted to finish. I put my full coverage on there for page finishes to keep me kind of motivating on those. This was my WIP Go. This and Game of Swans. And the goal is to get halfway done with Game of Swans. I'm working on it. That's one going to take a while. This is for a finish. I should have been focusing on this all March. I got a little distracted. With March Madness, guys. And the world falling down around us. But I pulled it back out and got some more work on it. And I'm going to persevere. I'm going to like pull this up into April and get motivating on it. So here we are. This is where I am. So I don't know, I think I put these cords on, I put in the opposite of, and I started wrinkly. So actually, I mean, it's going pretty quick, honestly. I don't think that these little things are going to take that long to stitch. So I think if I focus on this in April, I can get this done in April. And then I can move on to the 3rd one because I already have, this one done. I have loads of fun done and hanging in my laundry room. So now I just need to finish the other 2. They're both on my WIP Go board. So I'm going to carry this into April as a focus piece along with my new April WIP Go because Jessie Marie pulled the numbers. She pulls them on the 27th of each month. I'm not going to tell you what the numbers are. Go watch her video in the Facebook group, but I'll tell you what my 2 projects are, which is French Kitchen Collection. So strawberries and mint, I'm going to focus on. And then, oh, Harry Potter book covers got called. So for a page finish. So yeah, moving right along with WIP Go. Oh, Friends, I was doing for Alphabet Soup in semi-stain, and now it is on to G, and I have been working on Game of Swans because it was on my WIP Go board, and I had it on my 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic for March to get a page finish. I'm so cute sometimes. So this is Game of Swans by Long Dog Samplers. And I have been working on this, but a page finish seemed awfully ambitious. But here's where I got to on the 2nd page. And actually, I am moving right along. Because I extended out this stem. So this is actually all the way on to page 3. But I think the page break is like right here. But that just seems silly if I have that color on my needle to stop there. So I just finished out that stem. So this is the end of the page. And that's page 3. And then I decided, I was doing the crown, and I decided that it needed to be sparkly. Don't you guys agree a crown should be sparkly? So I decided, I pulled out some Krynic, and I did it in Krynic. That's the only place I'm going to put it, though. It's just that crown. And honestly, it's because for some reason, that's what got me with this pattern. That little baby swan is wearing a crown. Like, is he the heir to the swan monarchy? I mean, there's a whole note in here about how, this is what it says. I'm going to read this to you because I saw that note. I saw this swan wearing a crown, and I was like in. Like, the whole thing is super pretty. Yes, very cool flower in the middle. It was that crown. It's this little baby swan wearing a crown with its parents looking at it, adore it, like with adoration, that got me. Here's what it says. Swans were and still are the property of the monarch and could not be privately owned without royal permission. At such a time, a unique swan mark was granted, which was inscribed onto each bird's beak, the precursor of the microchip. A record of all the individual marks was kept on these swan rolls. That was like an actual thing. Like, they kept track of who owned swans. I'm assuming this is in the UK because Jules is British. Assuming that this was the United Kingdom, they kept track of who owned swans, and they were all individually marked. That's amazing. Anyway, that crown got me. It needed to be in Krynic. So that's where I got to. I'm working on this butterfly. I did some leaves and flowers down here as well. And I'm gonna do the flowers up here. And then I'm gonna start working on these other swans. So that's Game of Swans, and this is on Pearl Gray, Silvery Moon. 36 count Silvery Moon with the called for Gentle Art threads. I love this. I love it so much. Okay, so that's Game of Swans, which I'm working on for Alphabet Soup, so I'm going to keep going on that. And what's left in here? I think all that's left in here, guys, is my birthday start. This was my birthday start. Duke Clover by Owl Forest Embroidery. I bought it as a kit last year. I decided to go with the platinum linen on this. I know you guys all helped me so much. What I ended up deciding was I love the Chantilly, actually. I love the color. Color-wise, I would have gone with the Chantilly, but it was so soft and it felt like stretchy. And there's a bunch of specialty stitches in here that I've not done before. There's satin stitches, there's lazy daisies, and I was worried that that kind of stretchy linen would pull weird on me as I'm learning to do those stitches. And then I decided I had an urge to kit up Hare's Hunt because I thought I was going to start it. But I started other random things, and I decided it would be perfect for Hare's Hunt, which I may still start because who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I just can't seem to help myself. But I started out this on my birthday, only worked on it that one day, but here's where I got to. So look, I was like all about stitching in the Krynic. I'm like, throw caution to the wind. I can do it all. Because look, all the little keys are in Krynic, and that's where I got to. These flosses are amazing. Well, there goes my spool of Krynic. These flosses are amazing, and they're stitching up just, I don't know if you guys can see how gorgeous the variegation is. But I'm really loving the Owl Forest embroidery flosses. So there we go. There's my start on Duke Clover. I would like to have this done by my birthday next year, but it's pretty big. I mean, I felt like that motif is not done. I would maybe like to finish off that motif. And then my plan is to work on this on the 24th of every month on my birthday. And I was like, oh, if I get one motif done every month, it'll be done next year. Nope. But we'll see. I'm gonna maybe shoot for that, except March is almost over and I haven't finished that one yet. easily distracted. Okay, so that's all my works in progress. I did have two other finishes. So the first one was my April yearbook by Lizzie Kate. So there we go. Can you see my white bunny? He shows up really good in person, I promise. So there it is. I cannot find for the life of me the charm that goes on this one. Normally I leave them, you know, they come on, there's like a little sticky dot on the chart. Normally I leave them on there, but when I attach March's, I don't know what I did with April's. It's a little butterfly that goes like right here. So I actually don't think that if I don't find it, you won't miss it. So April yearbook is done. I only have 3 more of these to go, guys. May, June, July, and then I'll have done the whole set. Exciting. So I'll start May here pretty soon, but I love this carrot. Look at that. Look at the pattern on that carrot. These are just really fun to stitch. So there's April. And then March Stitchy Madness bracket. When I last left you, we were down to the Battle of the Hooplas. And the voted winner of the Battle of the Hooplas was Easter Hoopla. And I finished it. I have not FFO'd it. There he is. He's all done. Doesn't he look so good? Look, I did his little tail and the whisper. I'm so proud of myself. And this is that same hoop that I felt like was a little too big for the St. Patrick's Day one. The reason is the St. Patrick's Day one has that kind of like weird hill, and it shows on the front that the hoop kind of grazes the bottom of that, so it looks like the hills are coming out of the hoop. This one doesn't have something like that, so I think this hoop is actually going to be perfect. And look, I have plenty of that lilac fabric left. So, I mean, I just threw it in there for a second, but I'm going to finish it in this hoop. I need to see if I have some pink ribbon. Last weekend was International Flosstube FFO weekend, as declared by Amy Brook and Michelle Bendy. And they're the bosses. I'll do anything either of those two say, honestly. Actually, not last weekend, this weekend. It's still Sunday. I do have a couple things I need to FFO. Here's the thing. I don't have like FFO stash. So I have a couple things that I really do want to finish up, but I don't have like backing fabric and stuff for them. That's the kind of thing that I actually do. Like, I finish the piece, I take it with me, you know, to the big box store and find the trims and whatnot to go with it. I can't do that right now. So I am going to see if I can find, I do have a little bit of ribbon laying around. So I might see if I can find a piece of ribbon, because if so, I think what I'm going to do is just gather up the back of this for right now and just put a ribbon through and hang it up, through the hoop and hang it up. And I'll just leave the back like gathered for now. Like eventually I'll get maybe a pretty something to whip stitch. Or maybe I might have some felt. We'll see. I might try to FFO this tonight. But isn't he adorable? I really enjoyed stitching those hooplas, but that's where I got distracted. Like those, like I finished both those in March and they were nowhere on my plan or horizon until like I last minute decided to do March Stitchy Madness, which was super fun. It was hosted by the lovely ladies at Steel City Stitchers, who put out a new video. They did like a meetup on Zoom and recorded it for us. So go check them out. They're just a fun bunch. And I really, really enjoyed their March Stitchy Madness. I will for sure be doing that again next year with them. So there was my winner, guys. And I still have a few days. I still have a few days to FFO this. So we'll see. But it's done. Yay! All right. That's all of my works in progress finishes haul. So first off, I got some lovely birthday mail. I got some cards and a gift. So I got some cards. This one is from the lovely Daleen. So grateful. Thank you so much, Daleen. Happy birthday. She said she couldn't resist sending it to me, and I love it. That's hysterical. Can you guys guess who this one's from? Hip Hop Hooray. It's from Amy of Amy Loves Toads. Thank you so much, Amy. And then I also got a card. That's for my in-laws. Don't know why that's up here. Oh, this is for my in-laws. Well, one, because it's fun and sparkly. Look at that. And also, they sent me a lovely check that I spent every cent of it on cross-stitch supplies that you will see. But I also got a lovely package from my friend Carla at Carla Being Crafty. And look what she sent me, guys. She made these. So this is a coaster. It's got little feet on it. And it's resin. And it's got orts in it. Isn't that an awesome use of orts? And she knows my favorite color is green. So she did it kind of green with green glitter. And then also a needle minder. A little ort needle minder. And check this out. She puts a little like nubbin on the back. So it's super easy to like, super strong. She uses super strong magnets. So it's really easy to grab and pull apart. Genius. And I like these resin ones because they're light. Since I stitch in hand, I don't like super heavy needle minders. And this is nice and light because it's resin. So I think eventually she's going to have an Etsy shop where she sells like all kinds of fun resin things with orts. But I love these. So this is going, I don't know, with the little nubbin though, I don't know. Here, we'll put them next to each other. So pretty. And then this sits next to me at my stitchy spot for my mug of tea. So thank you so much, Carla. The rest of this is regular haul. I showed you guys the couple market pre-orders I did. And then I watched everybody's videos and decided that I needed a couple more things. Specifically this chart, which when I saw the reveal on this prior to market, I almost pre-ordered it. I almost did. But it's kind of big and I thought you're not starting that anytime soon, Erin, so hold off. And then like it just really, this really spoke to me even pre-market. And now it really does. And I decided I had to have it and start it now. Seeking Refuge. I've had Perfect World, which was the Scarlet House, was a Nashville release last year. I love that piece and I thought I want to stitch that piece. And then when I saw this one, I was like, nope, this one is what I want to stitch. And now I decided, couldn't wait, had to have it right now. So I thought, well, I want to like, you know, spread the love around. So I looked at a couple online shops. Nobody had it. Abby Topknot had it. So she got another order for me. So I ordered this from her. And I also ordered this one, My Stitcher's Heart. Because this was another one that I didn't pre-order, but was all like high on my wish list. And then when I saw pictures of the model in her room at market, I was like, oh, I didn't realize how big it was. Like I was thrilled that it's actually kind of big. So I ordered both these charts from Abby as well as the 2 new Gentle Arts threads. So this is Glass Slipper. The other one's already kitted with, Witching Hour is already kitted with a Potential Mania start. I broke the Flosstube rule. So this stuff I ordered from Abby. And she had this and you could get just the chart or you could get the chart and the pom-pom trim, Lady Dot trim to go around the box. You know I bought it with the trim. So as soon as it came, I thought, oh, I need to make sure I get that box, right? Well, this piece was apparently like one of her very first class pieces, or former club piece, she says. This is what she says. Kathy says, I hope that you enjoy this former club piece. It was the first one I ever did. I mean, talk about knocking out of the park, our very first club piece. And also the subject of my very first Flosstube video and the start of my channel, which I have not gone to watch yet, but I will. So she says in here, in the chart, I will find the note. Oh, at the time this piece was designed, the source for the hexagonal box was Factory Direct Craft, and she gives the item number. So of course, I immediately went online to Factory Direct Craft to see if they still had this exact same paper mache box. Yep, they do. I ordered it and it already came. See what I'm talking about? Like, that's a pretty big box. Like, that's a pretty good size box. So I have a box. I'm ready. And they shipped really fast. It was very easy to order. They shipped really fast, and they even sent me a little thing of little beady things. I'll take little gifties. So that's fun. So these two, the two General Arts I got from Top Knot. I also have been perusing the stash unload again. Heaven help me. But I've been very good. But I found this and I had to have it. Summer House Stitchworkes, Sylvania. So I have Sophia. There's like 4 in this series. I had not seen this one before, I don't think. They're not the easiest thing to come by. There's Sophia, Sylvania, Sakura, which I went to get, and I can't remember what the other one is. But this is the same colors, I think. I think these are the exact same colors as Sophia. So, I don't know. I just picked it up because I don't see those that often. Okay, then I spent my birthday money from my in-laws. Oh, also birthday haul. My family knows me. Everybody got me stitchy stuff. None of it is actually here. I know you guys are dying to know. Did I get the shaker box? I did. Is it here yet? No, it's not. My lovely husband did order me the shaker box that goes with Long and Winding Road from Lone Elm Lane. You guys know the shaker box I'm talking about, right? I will link it below. It's gorgeous. They're all made by hand. They are not cheap. He totally did order it for me, but I think he ordered it like on the 22nd. So I got a printout of the order confirmation. We're far too used to Amazon 2-day Prime shipping. Handmade artisanal things, not used to. Shaker box is on its way. I'll show it to you when it gets here. My oldest daughter got me a 1-2-3 Stitch gift card, which I have not spent yet, but I will be like imminently in the next few days, at the very least, to pick up more 32 count platinum linen for all my BLN Stitch pieces. My middle daughter got me a print subscription to Primitive Punch Needle and Cross Stitch magazine. I'm so excited. She was kind of bummed because she didn't realize they would sell out. And she's like, I wasn't quick enough. They were already sold out of the spring magazine. She goes, who knew that like cross stitch magazines would sell out? So my subscription starts with the summer one. I don't care. I'm just thrilled. I'm so excited to be getting that magazine. Yay. So that's coming. And then my youngest said that what she really wanted to get me was this gift certificate to Acorns and Threads. But they're closed on unlimited hours now. And I said, that's all right, sweetie. I'll spend some money there. And that'll be my birthday present from you. Oh, so cross-stitch stuff. But the gift for my in-laws, I spent with Trish at Threads and Twined. And I will show you, what I got mainly was floss. When I went through all of my kits and patterns for Possible Mania starts. What I ended up with was a basket of Possible Mania starts. I spent like a whole day going through to see what I still needed, to see what I had, what I still needed, and mostly it was quite a bit of floss. So I ordered a ton of floss from Trish and 2 patterns because I didn't want all that floss to travel alone. I wish that I had saved that package to show you guys. I did not. When it came last week, I ripped open that sucker. But let me just say, I know we are all trying to, give all the different LNS and online shop owners some business in this really tough time. I highly recommend Trish at Threads and Twine. She's very quick service. She does most impeccable packaging. It came with like cardboard and a do not bend and a great bubble mailer, and everything was like wrapped up in tissue, and each brand of floss, so like all my General Arts were together on a floss ring in a separate bag. Like they were all like organized, beautiful. She does a beautiful job packaging. All of that floss is now dispersed among my Possible Mania starts as I'm kitting everything up. So when I'm done with that process, I will show you guys all of that stuff. And I did take a picture of it and post it on Instagram. So if I can, I'll put that picture in here. We'll see if that happened or not. But I also did throw in 2 charts because, can't just get floss. And I picked up Coffee First, which was a Nashville release from Miranda Gervais, and is just genius. Like, that's a coffee plant growing out of a coffee cup. Love it. And then I also got the new Souvenirs of the Heart. And this actually, I got some of the floss I needed from Trish as well. And it's already partially kitted for Mania. That's all my haul. There's more stuff coming. So I spent my birthday money with Trish, and I have since placed an order at Fire Poppies and Be Stitch Me. And I'm going to be chatting with Janine on Tuesday. That'll technically be a birthday gift though for my youngest. And somebody stop me. I'm doing okay on Stitch from Stash. I think I'm like $20 in the hole, but when the new month rolls over, I'll be like even. So I think I'll be even Stitch from Stash wise if I stop myself now. Ooh, that doesn't include Brandy's stuff. The fabrics from Brandy. Somebody stop me. Somebody take my credit card away. Okay. There will be more hauls to see next week. This is super long, I realize, because I was gone for a week. So wrap it up. Giveaway. So 2 weeks ago, I had a giveaway for one of these little floss drops that I made. And you guys were telling me your favorite spring charts. I loved all the suggestions. So many of you guys are stitching the Spring Quaker by Rosewood Manor. I love those charts. Those are on a I want to stitch someday list for sure. They're gorgeous. Woohoo to all you guys are stitching Spring Quaker. But this was the giveaway. So I did the little random number generator, and the random number generator, looking for the word spring, picked Maggie Ruth. Maggyyruth. Maggie Ruth, you won! Yay! So contact me. My contact info is below. You can shoot me an email or message me on Instagram, and I will get that out in the mail to you. And thank you guys for all the suggestions for spring charts. I was very impressed. Someone said, and this is genius, I should get on that train, but I don't know. It seems like it'd be hard now. She stitches 6 months out. So right now she's stitching, like she's putting away her summer stitching and starting fall. So that when she gets to fall, she has finished stuff. It's kind of genius, except I need to start stitching fall now and I'm not sure I feel like it. And I'm clearly in a mode of stitch when I feel like. I think we all are a little bit. Okay, this week's giveaway. The rain had returned here in Seattle, but today we got a little spot of sunshine this afternoon, so I picked You Are My Sunshine. So, if you guys want to do You Are My Sunshine from Country Cottage Kids, this is so adorable. Look, it's got little kids and a doggy, and that's sweet. I feel like this could even be a birth sampler. You could totally put like name and birth date and weight and stuff down on the bottom, or I don't know. That's cute. I think this You Are My Sunshine was the #1 song the week that I was born. I'm pretty sure that's true. My parents told me that's true, so I assume it is. So this is the giveaway for this week. If you would like this, you just tell me I want to stitch the sunshine. I'm gonna look for sunshine. You can tell me whether it's been, if you have sunshine where you are, what's bringing a little ray of sunshine into your life. I hope you guys are all well. Let me know how you're doing and what you've been up to in the comments. And that's it for me for this week. Hope you guys are hanging in there. We're very, very lucky that Drew can just work from home, and I got all my kids home. The oldest, I think it's dawning on her that she's not going back to campus. Her college is starting tomorrow. Their winter quarter all online, and so we've moved her out of the dorm. In Seattle, she goes to UW, and they were great about letting you break your housing contract. And so we have her about moved out. We need to go back and get like the refrigerator and one last load of stuff, but she's moved back home. She didn't want to go back to the dorm. I don't want her going back to the dorm. But I think it's really dawning on her that her freshman year of college is over, essentially. You know, she wasn't, you go to college and you think, oh, I'll be home for a little bit in the summer, but I think it's dawning on her that she's now home until fall. And that's a little bit of a bummer. But, you know, she's lucky. She can just be home, and I'm lucky that I was able to just go pick her up. We're all just hanging in there together, so I hope you guys are hanging in there too. And until I see you next week, cheers.